fabulous music. And so without any further ado, please welcome Amy Bishop, Oliver Miguel, Steve Fletcher, Luis Tovar, and Lisa Jacobs.
This is the moment, this is the day when I send all my doubts and demons on their way. Every endeavor I have made ever is coming into play, is here and now today. This is the moment, this is the time when the momentum and the moment are in rhyme. Give me this moment, this precious chance. I'll gather up my past and make some sense at last. This is the moment when all I've done, all of the dreaming, scheming, and screaming become one. This is the day. Let it sparkle and shine when all I've lived for becomes mine. For all these years I've faced the world alone, and now the time has come to prove to them I've made it on my own. This is the moment, my final test. Destiny beckoned, I never reckoned second best. I won't look down, I must not fall. This is the moment, the sweetest moment of them all. This is the moment, damn all the odds. This day or never, I'll sit forever with the gods. When I look back, I will always recall, open for moments. This is the moment, the greatest moment of them all.
Amy Bishop, Lisa, Luis, Steve, and Oliver. Whew. Dang. Dang, y'all. We're going to be making a special announcement next week about a different event coming up in March that maybe features a Shiny Pretty and his party band. But I'll tell you about it next week. I know, wasn't that mean? But you have something to look forward to, right? I know. I never said I was nice. Would you breathe with me, please? Taking a deep breath. And again. And one more time. Something so special about breathing together, consciously breathing. So a lot of people are being short of breath today because Are you ready? It's Super Bowl Sunday! Who's excited? Thank you, Doug. For football fans, this is Christmas. They wait all year for this. They have parties and gatherings and special foods. Who wants to go to that party? Party at Doug's. For football fans, this is more than just a football game. It is an event. And I know that not all of you are into football. I get it. I am clear. But I promise you, guarantee you, that even though my talk is using football as a metaphor, it also is going to be a great metaphysical lesson as well. So are you willing to play with me on this? Yeah? Okay, good. So I want to start out by sharing with you, how many of you remember George Carlin? George Carlin? Okay, this is George Carlin, baseball versus football essay. Baseball is played on a diamond in a park, the baseball park. Football is played on a gridiron in a stadium sometimes called things like Soldier Field and War Memorial Stadium. Baseball begins in the spring with signs of new life. Football begins in the fall when everything is dying. In football you wear a helmet. In baseball you wear a cap. In football, you receive a penalty. In baseball, you make an error. Football has hitting, cleaping, spearing, piling on, personal fouls, late hits, unnecessary roughness. Baseball has the sacrifice. Football is played in any kind of weather, rain, snow, sleet, hail, fog. In baseball, if it rains, we don't go out to play. Baseball has the 7th inning stretch. Football has the 2-minute warning. Baseball has no time limit. We don't know when it's going to end. We might have extra innings. Football is rigidly timed, and it will end even if we have to go to sudden death. And finally, the objectives of the two games are completely different. In football, the object is for the quarterback, also known as the field general, to be on target with his aerial assault, riddling the defense by hitting his receivers with deadly accuracy in spite of the blitz, even if he has to use shotgun. With short bullet passes and long bombs, he marches his troops into enemy territory, balancing his aerial assault with a sustained ground attack that punches holes in the forward wall of the enemy's defensive line. In baseball, the object is to go home. And to be safe. We'll be safe at home. Okay. Little football, baseball humor. You're probably wondering, how in the heck am I going to turn a talk about football into a spiritual talk? So, the object of football is to win. Vince Lombardi said, winning isn't everything, it is the only thing. And at first blush, that doesn't sound terribly spiritual, does it? Well, it depends on how you define winning. If you define it only as beating your opponent, then no, it's not terribly spiritual. However, here are some of the synonyms for the word win: acquire, gain, succeed, advance, make headway. So if you define winning like this, achieving the goal that you've set for yourself or making headway on your dreams, then it's very spiritual, yes? You understand? President Ronald Reagan said this: "My philosophy of life is that if we make up our mind what we are going to make of our lives, then work hard toward that goal, we never lose. We win out. So if we are working toward our goal, we always win. Now, I'm going to come back to that in just a little bit. But first, let's talk about how to actually win in football. You're going to find that I am a woman who not only understands but loves the game. You're going to find that out in just a little bit. So the whole way to win in football is to score points. The highest score wins the game, yes? Unlike, golf. Golf is a game where the lowest score wins, right? It's so confusing, but not as confusing as football. So the football scoring goes like this. Okay, the biggest one that you can do is a touchdown, and this is worth 6 points. Now, guys, I'm going to be talking about NFL today, so just bear with me. Not CFL because it got slightly, although they still get 6 points. Okay, so the touchdown is worth 6 points. The point after, which is kind of like a bonus point, it's worth either 1 or 2 points depending on how they play it, okay? So that's how you can get a score of 7 or 8 with a touchdown. Then you've got a field goal. Now, a field goal, it's only worth 3 points, but a field goal has won many, many, many games in the past, and it's done by a kicker who kicks it through those things, okay? Yeah, you with me? So 3 points. Then you have a safety. Safety is way too complicated to explain here, but it's worth 2 points, okay? And then in CFL, you get 1 point for something bizarre. Yes, Doug? A rouge? I wear that. Yeah, okay, so that's not in NFL, so it doesn't count. I'm so bad. So I want you to think about this, okay? Aren't we all trying to score? Aren't we all trying to accomplish goals, right? Yeah? And some of our goals are worth more than others. Some are small-time goals, easily accomplished, and some are major goals, right? But either way, part of our being spiritual beings, having a human experience, is to work toward and to accomplish the goals that we set for ourselves, whether they're physical or spiritual or intellectual or mental or financial or anything like that. It is our nature to move our lives forward. Ernest Holmes put it this way: there is a divine urge within, ever pushing us forward to the goal of greater expression. There is a divine urge. And because that divine urge expresses through us and as us, we honor that divine urge when we set and work toward and accomplish our goals and our dreams and our aspirations. Are you all with me so far? Are you still thinking about this thing that I said, and all of us are looking to score? I heard it. So here's the question. How do we move towards our goals? How do we accomplish our goals? Well, as in the game of football, sometimes we do it in just one try, and sometimes we do it in increments. Sometimes we succeed the first time, and sometimes it takes several tries to get it done. Sometimes we have no obstacles, and sometimes it feels as if we have a dozen giant men in pads trying to keep us from our goal. Yes? Yeah. So to better understand what I'm talking about, I'm going to give you a little lesson on football. Yes, Mika, you're going to love it. And I'm going to give you a quiz afterwards. All righty. So here's a typical football field, CFL. I know it's a longer football field. This is what I know. I'm only teaching you and wider too? It's wider and longer? Not even touching it. Okay. In the football that I know, The field is 100 yards long, and it's made of 10-yard sections. And at the end of each of this field, there is an area called the end zone. Here, you can see where it says touchdown, and that is called the goal line. Ladies, I want you to pay attention. You're going to become extremely popular with your man. If you can talk about this, nod your heads. You know what I'm talking about, okay? So what each team is trying to do is to get that funny-shaped ball. You know, it is funny. You know, in Family Guy, Stewie has a football shaped head. Nobody else watches Family Guy but me? Okay, all right. So they're trying to get this ball across the goal line and into the other team's end zone, scoring points. That's the whole point of this. So it sounds easy. Well, you just take the ball and you just walk it over the, and then you get points. No, because there are other guys, giant guys, who are hell-bent on keeping you from getting across their end zone, into their end zone, their goal line. So, are you all with me? Are you tracking? Yes? Evelyn, are you having fun yet? Okay, good. You know what? This is all going to tie together at the end, and you're going to thank me. Trust me on this. So when a team has the ball and they get a chance to move the ball, they are given 4 opportunities in NFL, 4 opportunities that are called downs to move the ball 10 yards. They get 4 chances to move the ball 10 yards. And they're going to try to do it in all kinds of different ways. They're going to throw the ball. They're going to try to run the ball. Generally speaking, throwing the ball makes it go further. But the problem is sometimes the guy that's supposed to catch the ball doesn't catch the ball. And sometimes the guy who's supposed to throw the ball doesn't throw the ball. Anybody ever had an experience like that in your life? When you're trying to reach a goal? Have you ever had to rely on someone else to catch the ball, but maybe they weren't as invested as you in the outcome? Maybe they just made a mistake. Maybe they went the wrong direction. That happens a lot. Or maybe you're the one who has made the mistake or the misjudgment. Chances are both are probably equally true, but the good news is, as in life, as in football, we almost always get another chance, another down, to fall back, to regroup, to make adjustments, and to try again. For those of us who love immediate gratification, anybody else? Yeah, that's like so foreign to me. If I don't succeed the first time, forget it, wasn't meant to be, I'm out of here, right? But if you think about it, when you're really working toward a goal, regrouping and trying again is an essential tool for success. Whether you're trying to score a touchdown, or get a job, or lose weight, or get fit, or find a soulmate, or accomplish any goal. If we don't make it the first time, we need to go back into the huddle, figure out what happened, and then try again, yes? Dale Carnegie said this. He said, develop success from failures. Discouragement and failure are 2 of the surest stepping stones to success. For instance, the teams that are playing in today's game, they did not win every single game this season. Guaranteed, they did not. I don't know what their records were, but they were not perfect seasons, right? But after a loss, even a heartbreaking loss, they didn't give up. They used the loss. They went back and they watched the films to figure out what went wrong. They looked at their mistakes to learn. And then, this is the key, Reverend Darlene talked about it today as well during her meditation. Then they suited up again and went back to play again for that game and the next game and the next game. So now we're going to go back to our lesson, because I know how much you're enjoying it. When the team moves the ball 10 yards, So that's 10-yard increments right there. They're given another 4 or 3 downs to move the ball another 10 yards. And this keeps going as long as they keep moving the ball forward in 10-yard or more increments. Well, think about this as an analogy for life again, because many of the important things that we want to do in life are done in increments. Am I right? Y'all remember the movie What About Bob with Bill Murray, Richard Dreyfuss? If you remember, Bill Murray was this super neurotic guy. And all he wanted was to live a normal life, right? So he goes to Richard Dreyfuss, and of course drives him crazy. Richard Dreyfuss is a psychiatrist, because he wants to just become normal all at once, and it just doesn't happen. So what Richard Dreyfuss advises him to do is to, instead of jumping into something that he's not ready for, key for a consciousness thing here, something he's not ready for, he tells Bill Murray to take, what did he tell him to do? Baby steps. Remember that? Small increments. Because most of our major accomplishments are done in baby steps, not by throwing a Hail Mary pass. For instance, when I wanted to become a minister, I was told that it would take 7 years. And I was like, well, that's crazy. Why on earth would it take me 7 years to become a minister? I can read the books. I'm smart. You know, I could do this in 3 months. How many of you think you could do my job in 3 months? Just kidding. Okay. I did, absolutely. And what my teacher told me was that becoming a minister is more than just book learning. It is about embodying and living the teaching. So the first step, the first increment you have to do is to take foundations. And then you begin to apply that in your life. Those of you who have taken foundations, you know what I'm talking about, right? And then you take 5 or 6 other classes that are designed to help you expand consciousness. And all the while, you're moving through your life, expanding your consciousness, trying things, failing at things, all this stuff. But in all this time, you are embodying the teaching. After you've taken those classes, then you go through 2 years of practitioner training. We have people who are going through practitioner training right now. It requires tremendous commitment, personal transformation, and it ain't easy. And then if you survive that, then you enter ministerial training. All of our ministers are practitioners first. That is the law of the land. You are a practitioner first in our teaching. So that seems like a lot of work, and that seems like a really long time, but in order to be successful, it is the small, consistent little steps that get you there. One class, one step, one awareness, expanding of consciousness, one 10-yard segment at a time. So let's go back to our lesson, shall we? Wait, I got to get to this one. It's the same one, but I want to keep everything intact here. When the team gets the ball on the 20-yard line of the opponent's territory, it's called being in the red zone. It is very, very difficult to score a touchdown in the red zone because the other team is really determined to defend their goal even stronger. So I want you to think about life now. How many of you experience that the closer you have gotten to your goal, the harder it has seemed? More obstacles seem to show up. Well, the reason for that is when we have worked towards something and we've done all of our mental and our spiritual work and we've treated and we've meditated and we've prayed and we've affirmed and we've developed this whole new idea, the thing that's bursting out of us. The problem is the old ways of doing things doesn't want to give up the ghost quite so quickly. So they hunker down and try to keep us from changing things. They try to defend their existence. And things get messy. obstacles and problems appear, and they just seem to be insurmountable. And if we didn't know any better, we give up. Oh, it's too hard. It's not working. Forget this. But most of the time, the opposite is true. Because when the you-know-what is about to hit the fan, it's time to hunker down and keep on working toward the goal. Here's how Ernest Holmes put it. He said, there is no limitation outside our own ignorance. He's not calling you ignorant. He's saying out of our not knowing. Since we can all conceive of a greater good than we have so far experienced, we all have the ability to transcend previous experiences and rise triumphant above them. So when things are getting in the way of our goals, we can transcend those obstacles by continuing to do our work and trusting the process. There's a well-known saying. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Anybody? Maybe I need to go back to ministerial school because this one is one of mine. Oh, no, this time it'll be different, right? This time it'll be different. Okay, so when we find ourselves stuck in what appears to be a no-win situation, sometimes we have to do something different in order to transcend it and get ourselves unstuck. So, in football, sometimes the team who has the ball is just a few yards away from making the touchdown. And you would think that that would be really simple, right? But you've got these 12 guys, and they're all gunning to get that ball across the goal line. And you've got really, really big guys on this side with their backs to the goal, and they do not want to make it happen. It is the classic irresistible force meets the immovable object. Have you ever seen that? It's fascinating to watch. So the quarterback, the field general, does something different. And he either leaps over or pushes through the irresistible force and the immovable object and gets the touchdown. It is called the quarterback sneak, and it is surprisingly effective. So if you are feeling stuck in your life, maybe it's time to pull a quarterback sneak and mix things up a little bit. In other words, don't give up on the goal. Give up your attachment on how to get there. In the game of football, both teams have many chances to score points. Sometimes they don't advance the way that they want to, and they have to give up the ball, give it to the other guys, but not forever. That's what's beautiful about the analogy of football. Because once the other team also doesn't advance, then they have to give you the ball back. And that's the way it is with life, folks. One of the beauties of being a co-creator with the universe is that we have countless opportunities. We have countless chances to make things work because life is ongoing. And the opportunities to grow and to succeed are also ongoing. The football players who are in today's game are peak physical specimens. And I'm not saying that for any other reason than it's true. They are tough, they are smart, and they are strong. And they have worked hour after hour, day after day, month after month, year after year to get to where they are. They have failed and succeeded many times to get to this day today, the pinnacle of their sport. Now, there's lots of professional football players, but what makes the difference between the ones that are playing in the Super Bowl today and the ones who are watching the Super Bowl from home today. And I'm not talking about bad calls. Here. My colleague, Dr. Dennis Merrick Jones, put on this same listserv yesterday. He wrote this about the Super Bowl. He said, when players reach the level of extraordinary talent that was self-evident in both teams, the game ceases being solely about talent and becomes as much about heart, persistence, perseverance, passion, and sheer tenacity. There can be no doubt that in their peak moments, these guys truly love what they do. The passion oozes through their pores. In short, the team with the most talent does not necessarily win the Super Bowl. The team with the most heart, passion, perseverance, persistence, and tenacity wins. So regardless of who wins today, I'm rooting for the Rams because they're from California. How many Rams fans? How many Patriot fans? You guys are for the whiny boys? Oh. See, I won't talk politics, but I will talk football. How many don't care in going to a movie tonight or today? Yeah, I knew that. But regardless of who is called champion today, everyone on those teams is already a winner. And as cliche as it sounds, so are you. Because like the players today, you've accomplished so much. You've succeeded so many times in so many ways. You're already in the Super Bowl of life. So go Rams, and so it is. Mika, you survived. Did you learn something? All righty. The quarterback sneak, that's right. This song that Amy and the band is going to do, you're doing that one, right? Okay. Whew. This is a dandy. It's from the show, the movie called The Greatest Showman with Hugh Jackman. Please welcome Amy Bishop and our band.
I'm not a stranger to the dark. Hide away, they say. We don't want your broken parts. I've learned to be afraid of all my scars. Run away, they say, 'cause no one will love you as you are. But won't let them break me down to dust. I know that there's a place for us, for we are glorious. When the sharpest words want to cut you down, gonna send the flood, I'm gonna drown them out. I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me. Look out, 'cause here I come. And I'm marching on to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen. I make no apologies. This is me. Whoa. Another round of bullets hits my skin. Fire away, 'cause today I won't let the shame sink in. We are bursting for the barricade and reaching for the sun. We are warriors, yeah, that's what we become. Oh, won't let them break me down to dust. I know that there's a place for us, for your glory, yeah. When the sharpest words want to cut you down, gonna send a flood, I'm gonna drown them out. I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me. Look out, 'cause here I come. And I'm marching on to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen, I make no apologies. This is me. Whoa, whoa, and I know that I deserve your love, 'cause there's nothing I'm not worthy of. When the sharpest words want to cut you down, I'm gonna send a flood, gonna drown them out. This is brave, this is bruised, this is who I'm meant to be, this is me. Look out, 'cause here I come, and I'm marching on to the beat. I'm not scared to be seen, I make no apologies. This is me. Oh, when the sharpest words want to cut you down, I'm gonna send a flood and drown them out. This is me.
What a bunch of hopeless sinners. I'm not really